Red 2 standing by, all for lit and in the green. Welcome back to Super Mario Sunshine, and we are finally approaching the end of the game. It's our last mission, and a bit of a doozy if I'm going to be honest, because we still have to navigate Corona Mountain and get the last 10 blue coins. As I have said earlier, I'm pretty sure it's appropriately named because either Corona Mountain will make you sick or it's going to wish you were drunk. At the very least, the boat controls like it's drunk because yes, that stupid clay boat is back. The last 10 blue coins are here. So, we have to avoid landing on those spikes because they basically wind up hurting us much like lava does. They are a literal pain in the backside, but at least they're not a one-hit kill. The burning Kool-Aid below us is a one-hit kill. Fall in the lava and you will die. Which is probably not that surprising, but it is essentially instant death water. I don't know if this winds up coming back, but we have to very carefully make our way across to the first blue coin. The rest of them, look through there. You can sort of see where the clouds are. That is where the rest of the blue coins are, scattered around. Let's call it sort of the main area. You have to use that stupid boat to get there. It's about as fun as having teeth pulled without an anesthetic. It's dreadful. Let's make it over here, do we? Yes, safely. Somehow that has happened quite a bit. So, a 1-up for a water top-up. And here is our boat. Welcome to Destiny. Welcome to the final screw you. Now, we'll have to be very careful. Do I make this thing turn again? Wait, physics doesn't work like that. That should work. Now, we do have a lot of very careful moving around to actually do in this area, because actually trying to get all of those coins is going to be a significant issue. You have to be incredibly careful, because if the boat sinks, that's kind of it. You don't get any more chances. It sinks, you die. Or you exit the level. This is super infuriating, and I'm going to be extremely careful. I think I've got some of it. We can top up our water there. Oh no, wait, do not go near that. Rightio. Steady as she goes. Water's full, and there we are. We can see some of them. They are scattered all around this area. I think it's probably a good time to speed this up, and then we can talk about the actual level proper, and the many... There are many bad things. So I need to turn this. Okay, let's turn this way. Let's get the ones closest to the edge first. Notice that I am intending to move incredibly slowly. I will quite simply just happily drift around, idly and patiently waiting to get them. Just a little bit. That's number 2. Let's spray backwards. This is easily one of the scariest bits. It's like you never know when this thing's just going to crash. No, I don't want to do that. There's something that makes this work, but for the life of me, I have not got the foggiest what it's meant to be. And this is very, very, very hard to turn. This is like the world's worst parking exam. Ugh, how do I do this? This is going to be really, really slow. Oh, don't crash. Don't crash that way either. We're getting there. There's a lot of terror happening right about now. So, maybe if I... that's... I want to make it... Very carefully go this way. Whoa! And it crashed. See, it just crumbles. It will crash, it falls, and if you're not paying attention, like it, you know the boat at the start of Abandoned Ship in Mario Party 2? It's made by the same company that made that. I'm going to put some footage of that up now. System. It was nice seeing the Star Spirits. Also, by the way, this is the absolute worst boat in the history of the world. It bumps into that rock at a speed that would probably make snails look charitably quick, and it winds up just sinking. This is an insurance scam. This ship sinking is an insurance scam. Yeah, same company. Now, if I'm very careful... That's 3. I can line myself up again. And that's 4. Can I get this one? Yes, I can. If I turn around, I'm dead. So we've got half of the blue coins around here. We can get one more. Line it up. Try again. There we go. So, if you're prepared to die, you can go out and get those coins out there. But they're going to be difficult. So, at least I get to stock up on lives by doing this. Let's exit the level and we'll very slowly, very surely, and very painfully get those. I'll see you back here. Okay, that's a new one. I seriously thought I had extinguished that, and I had not. To be fair, I probably could burn up a few lives. I have plenty, and the final boss is not that hard. It's just that it relies on a really, really ridiculous mechanic that you are probably not going to remember. So, do you remember way back in episode... I'm not sure what episode it was exactly, but around the time we got the rocket nozzle, I showed you what to do when it came to getting the Shine Sprite on top of the lighthouse where you enter Gelato Beach. The rocket-powered ground pound, basically. It's used there, and that is literally it. That is the only other time prior to the final boss that you will actually use that mechanic. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, it's not exactly... The final boss is not exactly the hardest challenge in the universe. It's almost laser-guided towards that rock. We do need to... Alright, so it's once again the laser guided towards that. Okay, now this is the thing I don't get. Whoops, are we going to crash into anything? The thing, no, it's allegedly supposed to be realistic physics, but like the thing I don't get is, if I'm spraying in a certain direction, like how does the boat turn in the same direction? Like, physics students, I'm actually legitimately asking because I really don't understand this. I'm outputting force from a certain direction. We know that in Newtonian physics, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So how is it that if I'm pushing from a certain direction, like I can propel the boat backwards and it will go a certain way. I push out water a certain way and the boat will go that way. But sometimes I'm pushing water in a certain direction and the boat goes in the direction that particular spray of water is going. Like, I don't know what the best way to explain it is. Alright, so that's 7. Yeah, basically it's like, if the force I'm outputting is causing the boat to go in a certain in a certain direction, like I'm spraying behind me, the boat goes forwards. That's Newtonian physics, I think. But if I start spraying water a certain way, why does the boat then start going in the same direction as the water jet is going? That's the bit I don't work out. That's the bit I can't work out. But there are lots and lots of bits I can't work out. We're nearly there though. 2 more to go. And there is something else I've been thinking about. It's interesting to note that through the game, the turbo nozzle is actually not used for anything. Like, let's assume for a moment that we are going for the standard run. By the standard run, I mean the 50 stock shine sprites which you must get to beat the game, not factoring in glitches that let you clip through things and skip some of them. The turbo nozzle is required for absolutely none of them. It's required for blue coins and optional shine sprites. Like, you can get the shine sprite on the slide in Delfino Plaza. You get one by breaking into one of the bell towers. You will get a blue coin by dashing to it with the turbo nozzle. And you can also wind up getting the red coin shine sprite and a blue coin on the Delfino airstrip. But there's no blue coins are needed. No blue coins require the turbo nozzle in Bianco Hills. There we go. We've got all of them. Now let's exit out of the area. The turbo nozzle isn't needed in Bianco Hills. The blue coins that you need to dash to in Rico Harbor can be acquired without the turbo nozzle. The turbo nozzle is not needed for anything in Gelato Beach. It doesn't appear in Pina Park and Sirena Beach. It's used for 2 blue coins in Noki Bay, and it doesn't appear at all in Pianta Village. The rocket nozzle is, well, it's not used for as many. It makes a lot of shine sprites a lot easier. But it is essentially required for 7 shine sprites at least, in that it requires you have to use that to get up to Pianta Village. And even then, it's actually mandatory for the Fluff Festival, since you can get the last red coin without it, in all fairness. I did prove that you could by climbing up the tree near the bathhouse using a spin jump and hovering. Mostly the rocket nozzle is useful because of its platforming benefits. But it's mostly pretty useless. It's not needed to beat the game. Well, it's needed to get into Pianta Village. It's needed for that, but as far as shine sprites go, it's not mandatory. Like, it's not actually needed for anything in Bianco Hills. It helps. It helps get some of them, but I think it's mostly the optional one, the red coins of the lake. In Rico Harbor, it helps you get the caged shine sprite, but at the same time, you also don't need it, and by the time you actually do get the rocket nozzle and can drop back down, you're almost at the top. You don't need the rocket nozzle for anything in Gelato Beach. Wow, bit of slowdown there. What's going on with that? Very weird. You don't need it for anything in Pinner Park or Sirena Beach because it doesn't appear. It's entirely optional in Noki Bay as well. It helps because vertical platforming absolutely sucks. But you don't need it. You don't need it to complete the Fluff Festival. You don't need it to complete any of the regular shine sprites. From what I can see, it mostly makes accessing them easier. So really, they're incredibly underused in much the same way. Yoshi is helpful for Mysterious Hotel Delfino. He's helpful for Yoshi's Fruit Adventure. But it feels like the platform mechanic of Yoshi's Fruit Adventure was developed, and then Yoshi was sort of designed around that, rather than Yoshi being developed and the game actually being designed around some of Yoshi's abilities. A lot of it just doesn't seem to work, in all fairness. A lot of the power-ups you get are actually really, really useless. The rocket nozzle is helpful, though. It's way more helpful in getting around places than the turbo nozzle. So yeah, I just wound up observing that, and it's a bit disappointing. Well, and in fairness, the rocket nozzle is mandatory for beating the final boss, but that's only because of a mechanic that appears literally once in the entire game before that, and you don't even have to use it. There were some bad design decisions in this. Speaking of bad design decisions, let's walk in and finally rescue 1/5 of the island's guardians from an extortionist. Right, fork 'em over, buddy. Of course I mean it. I mean, this is kind of my job. And there we are. So, now is a good time to actually see you back at Corona Mountain, where we will be slowly making our way through for a third time. At least we didn't have to do it too many more to tackle the final boss. And that is a thing. Alright, we made it, and the boat just sinks incredibly quickly. Now, precision platforming with the rocket nozzle. We have to try and aim to land on the clouds. And some of them move. Oh, I actually stuck that. And there is our final boss cloud. Let's launch up and prepare for bad voice acting.
The water's great, hey, Junior?
Sure is, Papa. Come on in, Mama Peach. I think not. Mario!
And here we are.
You again? Don't you ever give up?
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
We get Bowser's Roar from Mario Kart 64. And our main objective will be trying to deal with Bowser's Fire Breath and avoiding all the enemies that come at us. Ground Pound 1. Bowser's very good at leading his shots, so be careful. Ground Pound 2. Okay, that helped me. No, he's not leading. Rightio. Rocket away, and basically just do this. And Flood somehow winds up suffering damage. Okay, that, rightio. Oh! There's the other danger of this. Please don't put me back at the start. Oh good, I'm here. So that was slightly embarrassing. But yeah, the camera is probably going to be your biggest enemy, maybe clipping through the stage. Depends on what happens. You can steal a march on Bowser. And yeah, basically smash these. For some reason, as I was trying to say, Flood randomly starts taking damage. We don't exactly know why Flood randomly starts getting damaged by this, but is Bowser going to lead his Fire Breath? Bowser is getting very good at leading his Fire Breath. How am I supposed to get... Oh, one up. Do I just have to use the rocket nozzle to get past him? If he starts leading his Fire Breath, that's a bit of a nuisance. Am I faster than the bullet bill? No, it just blew up. Okay, so... basically, as I said, Flood randomly starts taking damage out of nowhere. You know what, I'm just going to take a few hits so that I can get past him. One more to go. One more hit to go. Whoa, I didn't want to fall off the edge there. Do this, and that ends the fight. This is a pretty crummy final boss fight in all fairness. Flood randomly starts taking damage despite the fact Flood has never actually been damaged by all the crap we've dealt with before. Mario falls and Peach just daintily drops with her parasol. She could have done that at any time, you notice. She could have just jumped out of the way and avoid getting captured by Bowser at any time. And then we get an extremely cheesy death scene for Flood. And it gets repaired in about 5 seconds, so it's really not that sad. And there we are. It's conveniently lying there dying of some sort of soap opera disease. She too has a terminal disease. And there we are. We get the game over screen.
Mario.
Well, you were of assistance, but you did also give us really obvious... Mario, you should really just start going for an Academy Award at this point. Really ham it up. The Shine Sprites are back. We have acquired all 120 Shine Sprites. And Isle Delfino is going to get its sunshine back. Isle Delfino is also going to lead the world in skin cancer, actually surpassing Australia, which I believe has the highest rates of skin cancer in the entire world. It is proof that summer is a terrible season, it will burn you to death, and it should not be suffered. Much easier to warm yourself up than cool yourself down.
Difficult to tell you about Princess Peach.
I know she's not really my mama.
And yeah, goofy voice acting Bowser.
Someday, when I'm bigger...
At least he grew out of being a brat by the time of Bowser's Fury.
I wanna fight that Mario again.
That's why son. The Royal Koopa line is as strong as ever. But for now, let's just rest a little.
Yep, he still sounds like Cookie Monster's drunk brother. And there we are, it is always sunset at Sirena Beach for some reason. And yep, they conveniently just repaired Flood out of nowhere. So yeah, what was the point of Flood's cheap little death scene?
The vacation starts now.
There is absolutely no point to that. And there we are, we get a lovely photo in front of Bianco Hills Windmill. Ah, it's still a beautiful name to see. Doesn't matter when, there is magic associated with the name Satoru Iwata. So the holiday is done. We got through the jank, we got through some serious frustration, and we do have some pretty good moments. It's a game with some admittedly questionable design choices, I'm gonna be honest. It's not the best Mario game out there. Peach is apparently pretty good at fishing though. But it's enjoyable in its own way. It did something different. It mixes things up a bit, it has some seriously good challenges, even like discounting the jank, it's actually got some legitimately good challenges along the way. It can be pretty fun. There are some, as I said, some odd choices, but it's nonetheless incredibly entertaining in its own way. It has absolutely beautiful graphics. There are some fantastic locations. The way the world is actually built really makes me think that the game deserves a little bit more. It deserves some polishing. A sequel that builds on these ideas and actually makes the plot a bit less moronic would be really, really nice. This is, honestly, a game with a lot of potential. It's been called the most polished, unpolished game ever released. Maybe not ever released, but it is one of the most it is the most polished, unpolished Mario game, perhaps. That in so many ways it's incredibly frustrating and annoying, but in so many ways it's incredibly beautiful too. So, of course we want to save. We do get a little something for it. So, we'll get back to our game file. Like, I really do think they need to do more with this idea. It would be very, very nice. It would be a lot of fun, honestly. So, there we go. The Grand Pianta statue. And a beautiful view of bright, sunny Delfino Plaza. We have to find the guy who gives us the sunglasses. Who is over here. There we go. Sunshades alone just won't cut it for you. Nope. You also need one of my custom tropical shirts. Here you go. My oh my, I haven't seen anyone look that good in my gear in ages. Come see me again when you want to return them, okay? Mario has some style. We got the sunglasses, we got the Shine Sprite shirt. Looking pretty stylish. It's sad that this is the only reward for torturing yourself with the stupid lily pad ride and the pachinko machine. And if you haven't figured it out, the Chucksters. I was legitimately surprised the Chucksters went okay. I was surprised a lot of things went okay. It's still frustrating at times, don't get me wrong. But if you polish this... Hey, bananas. Clip through the bananas, yes. If you polish this, you could get a really, really solid game out of it. I'd like to see them rebuild on this. I'd like to see Delfino Plaza turn up again. Imagine seeing this in a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey. Now that'd be a fun adventure. It would be nice. This area has appeared quite a bit in different games, like Fortune Street, for example. And we also got to see it in Smash Bros. We got a lot of Petey Piranha appearances. There was quite a bit about this that was honestly very popular. It's hardly a horrible game. It's got questionable design choices. But it's got so much that's good, so much that does go for it, that it can be a very enjoyable experience if you do leave out the really janky stuff. I suppose anything is. But it does feel really enjoyable to mess around with to have a lot of fun and to try out some new mechanics. And I've been really happy with how this overall project went. I think it's probably been one of my more enjoyable ones because I've been able to just goof around, have a bit of fun and do something creative. I've messed around with the editing a bit and I think it produced some good results. It was, in the end, a very enjoyable experience. Though there's so much frustration to be had, we can still get a pretty good experience out of Isle Delfino, and it would be fantastic coming back to it. Not sure if I mentioned it, but the chili are the only other fruit per se that actually turn Yoshi purple. You don't really get to do anything with that though. I wonder what happens if we spray the birds with Yoshi juice. Suppose I should at least sate that bit of curiosity. Even though we don't have too much more to do. This particular vacation is almost over. It's been quite a time, to put it lightly. Oh no, they don't turn into platforms, you just get a coin out of it. Not too bad. But yeah, basically the holiday is kind of done. We are going to be heading off from Isle Delfino pretty soon. And that will give me the opportunity to go home, relax, and settle down with a pretty good book. I think that will be the best approach for someone like me, always have been a bit of a bookworm. Anyway, it has been a delight having you along the journey. I think I've been flourishing a bit more with this. I can look back and be proud of this one, certainly. I'm not always... Did I just clip through the statue? Not always proud of everything I do because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. But I think I've done okay with this. I think I've managed to... Damn it, I don't get to stand on top of the statue. Let's give it a try. Let's at least give it a try as we wind up. Nope. Oh well. But there we go. Be time to head home and just relax, I think. We'll get back on top of the Shine Gate and have one last look over this beautiful island. For all that's good and bad about it. Up we go. Scaling the heights one more time. There we are. Isn't it just a beautiful day? Plenty of opportunity to explore and enjoy. There are many more adventures ready for Mario. And we are all good to go for our next adventure. As always, look after yourselves and be good to one another. Until the next mission, this is Red 2, signing off. And we gave Mario cranial trauma just because.